Greetings and salutations. Well, of course, my phone ran out of memory and died again. I'm using my wife's phone, so maybe this video will actually go through. My phone's so full of garbage that it just gets full quick. My wife doesn't use her phone like I do. So hopefully, you'll get more of a video this time. Okay, where we left off before the phone rudely interrupted me is I was getting these screws in place. And I'm going to continue to do so now that we're back online. So, here we go. And I'm just embedding them far enough so that they'll catch. And for some reason I forgot to drill a couple of holes. So, these screws are close enough to self-tapping. I'll just have to put them in. And I'm not drilling past I'm only drilling or screwing them in far enough that they're still not going to come up the other side and stick to these boards I'm working on. I like to pre-drill the holes so that you have less chances of splitting. These 1x4s aren't so bad at splitting, I'm surprised. Plus I'm using pretty small screws too. So we'll see how that works. Yeah. This is still pretty tedious. But it should be faster than... I got all the prep work and measurements done already, so I was waiting until I got to the assembly point so you guys wouldn't have to go through all the tedious part of getting it ready and designing it and everything else. That's tedious. You're here to watch the fun stuff. Oh yeah, this is fun. At least I'm not making you watch paint dry. But this won't take too long and we can get the other one assembled and then we can start having fun and see it going in place. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Going through a lot of screws here. I'm using small ones because they're cheaper. And these are 1x4, so I don't want to overstress them with huge studs. And even though they're holding wood in place, they're just kind of a placeholder, so it's not like they're going to be under a lot of stress. Oh, and I forgot. I'm not going to have to put all these screws in the one side. I'm a moron. Well, we'll figure it out. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. The front of this upper piece is going to be hinged, so I don't have to, yeah, we'll see when I go to put the wood in. So I made a mistake getting all these screws in place, but it could be worse. So I'm going to take these out. This board. Yeah, I'll explain that. The top board's only going to be, the top frame's only going to be 3 sides, but the last side that'll help keep the boards in is going to be hinged, so we can just put it in place. And I'll explain that. I'll show that when it's time. So I don't need screws in. I will put yeah, we'll come up with that when it's time. So, here we go. We'll get these two. This one can be put aside for later. That's the 4th side that we will hinge later. This side we're going to want for our assembly. Okay, we're going to put this puppy up while we're getting this to put together. Alright. This is the bottom frame. It's going over there, down, down. Okay, here we go. This is the bottom frame for the wood. It's going to go against here and down like that. Boy, how am I going to figure? We'll do something. There. Now, there's going to be these things that'll go right here. That'll hold the second frame up, but at the same time, the second frame's also going to be against the wall. It's going to be screwed into the wall, basically. So, there. And the end here, as you can see, is this is where nothing's going to go. The bicycle kind of overlaps it. But I didn't want to cut these boards. Because I want to reuse them later for something else. A lot of the short boards were fairly short to begin with, so I didn't feel bad about cutting them down to size. Okay, let's see. Something's happening here. There we go. It's back to the workbench. Okay. There we go. Now, let's get this board in place. Alright. And we're going to get all the little frame boards out. 8 of them. Okay. Get these lined up, sort of. Just like I did last time, I had these all lined up before I turned on the video. Get these all lined up. Hope I didn't screw up the sizes. Some of these are awfully small slats. Okay, almost there. Okay, so this board is going to go up against the wall. So it'll be hanging. Okay, now let's get my drill and start putting these things in like I did the last time. Excellent. Okay, this is going together pretty quick, considering I've spent hours and hours prepping this. It's coming together finally. All the work was in getting these boards the right size and cut up, the right place, guessing where I wanted it. Yeah, that's getting the planning and building. That's the hard part. Assembly is kind of easy in a way until you screw it up. So, let's see here. I'm going to want to put the uprights in place on the bottom piece first. And those are 4x4, 2x2s. So it's going to require bigger screws than what I'm using. I have them, these 3-inch screws should work, I hope. Yeah, we're going to try. We're going to make things easier on these 2x2 uprights by getting them started up on the workbench so that when I go to bring them in place, all I got to do is tighten them down. So that's easier to get screws started on a downward than doing it from the side. That is so much harder. So I'm going to get all of these screw holes started first for all 4 of these posts. And then when it's time, it'll be easy, I hope. I sure hope so. I'm going to get them screwed into, let's see. I need my bit, the correct bit for these larger screws. And there we go. Now, I should think of some stories to tell, but I haven't thought of any in advance, so it's just me going step by step here. I went and did a sleep study. Yeah, why don't we talk about that? I did a sleep study. Why is that going crooked? It wants to go in like that. I don't want it to go in that way. Well, I have something called extreme sleep apnea. Going crooked again. I wonder if this screw is bad. I've never had that. apnea where I stop breathing while I'm sleeping for about at least 5 seconds. And they measured it the last time I had a sleep study. Oh, this one does the same thing. I really don't want to go in that direction. Last time I did a study, it was I think it was 100 times an hour or something. I stopped breathing for 10 seconds at a time, or 5 seconds at a time. It's some ridiculous number. So I really need to have a sleep machine. And I got one like 10 years ago. And I've been putting off getting a new one. Don't know why. And the machine's just getting more tired and more tired and more tired. And I'm getting more tired because I'm not getting sleep because the machine is not putting out the air it used to. Now, a CPAP is constant pressure and something or other. It basically puts air in your airway so your airway doesn't collapse while you're sleeping. What's probably a product of my weight is the fact that my airway closes up when I'm sleeping. So I need air being put into my airway, but it can't be just a CPAP, which is a constant pressure. It has to be a variable pressure. I have a VPAP. And what that does is when I breathe in, it's a higher pressure. When I'm breathing out, it's a lower pressure. Because I'm not fighting, otherwise my lungs don't like fighting against the higher air pressure. So I'm a special guy and I have to have what they call a VPAP. So, yeah. My machine has been getting gradually worse every year, and I've been ignoring it and finally give a message saying the number of hours on the motor has been exceeded. Please get a new machine. So, yeah. It still works. But I swear that the pressure isn't like it used to be. It's like the fan is getting weaker and weaker from years of use. So I tried to go through my doctor, and he insisted I had to go through a sleep clinic because he ain't going to write a prescription because the insurance wouldn't take it from a regular doctor. But they can, but my doctor didn't want to. So I had to go through a bunch of tests through him first to get a referral from him to go to the sleep doctor. And I think with my insurance I didn't even have to do that, but he insisted I go through all this garbage. So I did a whole bunch of tests with him, and it showed I had a home test where it checked my blood oxygen level, and it told the doctor that I have brachycardia when I'm sleeping. What a surprise with sleep apnea, brachycardia. Very low heart rate. Nice. Now my wife has an issue where she gets an extremely high heart rate called tachycardia. So we're meant to be together because we're exactly opposite. And hers is not a threatening condition, and supposedly neither is mine. But mine, I think, is because of they haven't told me specifically, but I think it's because of my sleep apnea. So we'll see. But I got that done, and finally my friend told me I should get a home test, and I tried to ask for a home test, and they're like, well, if you want a machine, you're going to have to do an in-clinic study. You can do a home test, but then you'll have to do an in-clinic study. And they're like, why would I do a home test if I got to do a in-clinic study anyways? So the clinic basically wouldn't let me do a home test. During a pandemic, oh yeah, great. I mean, I am fully vaccinated, Pfizer. I spent 4 or 5 weeks out for my second dose. I did not have any side effects from the second dose. The first one, my arm hurt for a day after. The second one, It hurt. It was a little sore. Wasn't even sure if it was that the night of, and never felt anything after. So the Pfizer one worked really well for me. Hope it works good for you. So I had to go to the sleep study, and here's what they do at a sleep study. They put all these wires on you. I had wires on my head that measure my brain waves. Good luck with that. They measured EKG, the heart stuff. They had measurements on my legs in case I had restless leg syndrome. I had 2 cannulas up my nose. I was flat on my back. I had all these wires run through, and they're all pasted to my skull. And I had to go sleep quickly, is what the lady said. Really? I'm dressed up as a science experiment, and I need to sleep quickly. Good luck with that. I slept horrible. But the lady said, the nice lady, she was nice to me. She said that she got the data she needed. So as long as I don't have to do a second one of those, great, because I never want to do one of those again. Oh, it was horrid. Because you're so scared that you couldn't get the sleep in. If you don't get the sleep in, then you have to do another one, and this one's already costing me a ton because my insurance sucks. Yeah. So hopefully that's over with, and I'll get a new machine soon. Of course, I got to pay a lot more for that than I did the first time. Paid 100% my last time with my old insurance, but with this insurance, it's 80. They pay 80%. Oh, how nice. So let's go try to get these in place. So that's all about my sleep study. Wish me luck on getting a new machine so I can sleep again. The old one's still working, just not good enough. But it's holding in there so far, and only got a couple weeks before my appointment, so hopefully they give me one. If they don't, I'm going to throw a fit. Yeah. This sleep clinic, and they charge so much for these sleep studies. Oh my goodness. And this sleep clinic was like in an office building next to a busy road. They didn't insulate it. So you're trying to sleep and you hear all these cars screaming off in the distance. I mean, come on. What the heck? I'm going to get down on the ground in a second here and apply these uprights. Yeah. I hope this works. Oh, gotta get on my knees. I don't want to do this. Here we go. Oh, not comfortable. Not comfortable. Here we go. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see if I can get this to work. Of course, they're shitting my way. I don't know what I'm doing here. Fall on top of me. This is why I'm building a wood rack. Piece of garbage. Ugh, excuse me. Man, I almost got clobbered. Okay, at least I didn't, so it could have been worse. Here we go. Temper tantrum, done. Okay, let's see. This is not going to work well. But it did. It's in. Oh, the good Lord is so kind to me some days. Yes, that was a good thing. Okay, let's get this one in place. I'm going to leave it a little over, and there's a reason for that. When I put in my hinge, there'll be room for the hinge itself on the top half of this frame. Oh, great. Went all the way through. Crap. That's what I was afraid of. I'm going to do about that. Yeah. Okay, got to use smaller screws. I do have some. Let's see. Not a lot. Let's see. Man, that's going to be fun. I got to take them out and start over again. Well, I'm going to leave those two in for now. Once I get this thing in place, once I get this thing together, I'm going to take those two in the bottom out. But until then, I'm going to say forget it. Yeah, that's my plan. So, let's get those two over there moved over. We're 27 minutes in. Oh, joy. Yep. Okay, let's get these other two uprights. I'll change out the screws to my smaller set. And I'll verify that they'll fit. They should. Once I do that, then yeah. So first I'm going to take these out. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't measure it in advance and you hope that it fits. It won't fit. Guaranteed it won't fit. And just because you hoped it would, that's why it won't. I'm sounding very defeatist, but yeah. I'm tired. I've been working on this all day. Okay, it'll work out though. Okay. So let's just make sure that this will go all the way through this piece and into the next. And it will, and it should grab just enough to work. Okay. So, what we're going to do here, we're going to get the right bit. We're going to redo what we just did a minute ago. At least I caught it before I got all 4 posts in. That would have been a major headache. And I still got the project I'm working on, but I put it on hold because I got to get this wood up on the wall so I can empty out my trailer because we got to get hay for the horses. And to do that, we need room in the trailer. The trailer's full of wood right now. Yeah. So it's imperative, it's Friday night, it's imperative I get this done before Saturday afternoon, because on Saturday afternoon they close, so I can get hay for the horses. So. But I do have a build to finish my wife's hutch. It's done, but I'm doing that add-on for it. And that video will be coming out as soon as I get this done. Yeah. It'll be awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and put the screws in those two uprights.